Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. The holidays are upon us. That means it's gift-giving time, and you'll find the perfect gift, big or small, at Games and Things. Whether you want to make a big splash like a pool table, something that somebody will remember forever, or you just need a stocking stuffer. Maybe you got a dart player and you just need a new dart set. New poker chip set. They got big, they got small. Games and Things. Go out and see for yourself at the corner of Kingston Pike and Lovell Road. OurGameRoom.com. Games and Things, because life should be fun. All right, back with Kevin Simon, Daniel Hood, Josh Ward, Jimmy Hines. We had the whole hockey line change there. People have been calling for the heads of Tim Banks and Willie Martinez since those guys walked through the door here. I ask you, let me ask you this first. Do you expect staff changes this year? And I will also throw out the fact that you had a new offensive coordinator this year, and the offense went backwards. Now, less talent to work with, first year, but are there any changes you expect, not just somebody leaving, but somebody being shown the door?
I think your graphics showing where Tennessee allowed 22 points per game, just again, the burden for this football team goes on the offense, and particularly the quarterback and the receivers. Third down wasn't where I'm sure Coach Banks wants it to be. Mm-hmm.
Especially the last month.
Yeah, and Coach Heupel's mentioned it multiple times. Not to his standard, but I think he's going to give Tim Banks and the rest of the defensive staff at least another year or two to figure this out because they've done a good job. The offense wasn't there this season like he wanted to. I think Heupel, he's going to take the challenge and put his best foot forward moving forward with Nico and company.
You see any changes on the horizon, Daniel?
No, and I wouldn't change anything, especially after, I think for the first time in Heupel's career, they had a defensive win this season. I think you want to try to preserve that as much as you can. I'd be more worried about coaches jumping ship, going somewhere else, than Heupel having to actually replace them, by his choice.
Okay, gentlemen, there are people out there right now going, Martinez, thanks, get rid of him. Do you think there's going to be changes on that side of the ball or on either side of the ball?
I don't know, but the area that concerned me the most about this team this past year, was their voice, was the secondary. So Willie Martinez, if there's somebody that's let go, I think he'd be the most like it. It would not be Tim Banks. I think he's done a pretty good job with this defense. And now look, they didn't get off the field on third down, so that was a lot of their fault. But I don't think he's dealing with the greatest skill either, the greatest talent on defense either. So I would not get rid of Tim Banks.
I wouldn't either, especially after last year, because they took a real step forward last year. People remember the South Carolina game. That was the aberration. We showed that last year as one of the top 4 or 5 best defenses in the league. Wasn't terrible this year by any stretch. You saw if you had the offense that Missouri and Ole Miss did, it probably would have been a 10-win season. Josh, do you see any changes coming?
Well, one qualifier, I always expect some change, just because that's the way the profession works.
Right.
With coaching in any sport, especially football. Willie Martinez would be the one to watch, I think, because his contract is coming up, and I think that led to questions going into this season. So that would be the first one that would be most obvious to wonder about.
Thoughts on Joey Halsley? Offensive coordinator, first year. You took a step back again, but you lost Darnell Wright, Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt, Cedric Tillman, the other lineman who's
Carvin.
Jerome Carvin. Mm-hmm. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I would expect any first-year coordinator to not be as good as a guy who'd done it before. Mm-hmm. And then the question is, how much of this is on the offensive coordinator? How much of this is just Josh Heupel running the show? Your thoughts on that one? You've been over there.
Yeah, so this is Heupel's offense. This is Heupel's baby. He spends pretty much 97% of his time with the offense. So this is his baby. I think it's the drop-off in offensive production is more about the Jimmies and Joes than is the X's and O's. Joey Halsley has a great rapport with the players, the quarterbacks. I love Joey personally. Great guy to be around, excellent communicator, and I believe he'll get his chance to be a head coach at some point in time. I don't think Joey's not the issue. I just think that they got to get the Jimmys and Joes on the field.
No, I'm sorry. If you're going to make it the media, you're going to have to call for your friend's head. Very good.
I'm with Kevin on that. And the other guy I would add would be Princeton fan. I thought they missed him, his versatility.
And it surprised me that they didn't have – I expected McAllen Castles or Jacob Warren to kind of fill that role. in hindsight, it tells you that Princeton Fant was probably a better player. It wasn't some. I gave a lot of credit to the coaches for the way they used him last year. Credit Princeton Fant because they didn't have anybody that they felt they could use that way this year. Let me go ahead and show. Well, I tell you what, we'll give you the poll results on the backside. Let's catch a break. When we come back, let's talk about Tennessee's bowl outlook. Come on back on the Sports Source.